Right. Welcome everyone to this Sunday morning service here at Salt and Light Christian Church. The story that I will be telling this morning is about the hymn, Blessed Assurance. This hymn was written in 1873 by a woman named Frances Crosby. You might know her better as Fanny Crosby. She went by Fanny for most of her life. And she was a blind hymnist. And she wrote many hymns, and this was one of her most popular. She was born and lived most of her life in New York City. And she made a friend in New York City who was quite wealthy. Her name was Phoebe Knapp, Knapp with a K. And she came from money and had a big mansion in New York. And in this mansion, she had one of the most largest and most renowned collection of musical instruments. Phoebe was a musician, and she often played many of these instruments for Fanny. And at one instance, when Fanny was visiting her friend, she brought her into the music room to listen to a tune that Phoebe had just recently composed. And when she played it to Fanny, after hearing it, began clapping and said, "That speaks blessed assurance." And she immediately began writing down the lyrics to the hymn. And the hymn, Blessed Assurance, was born. Later in her life, she had the opportunity to go to one of D.L. Moody's sermons that he preached in New York City. D.L. Moody was he played a large role in popularizing many of her hymns. And so often at his services, her hymns would be sung and used to praise God. And at this service, she had came a little late, and the church was packed. Everyone knew that D.L. Moody was going to be there preaching, and so the church was just completely full. And she went there looking for a seat, and she couldn't find anywhere to sit in the audience. And D.L. Moody's son, Will, spotted her looking for a seat, and he went and guided her up onto the stage. To her chagrin, she never was one to accept praise or compliments very well. She was very humble, and she would rather kind of sit back in the crowd and blend in than to be put on as the main attraction. However, D.L. Moody's son guided her to a seat, and in the process brought her up onto the platform while this song, Blessed Assurance, was being sung in the crowd. And when D.L. Moody saw what his son had did, he rose up and interrupted the singing, and he told everyone that she was the author to that song and many others. And the crowd applauded her and thanked her for the blessing of her songs. And we can see by the lyrics in this song that she had a great heart for the Lord, for God. And she recognized the true assurance, the great blessing that it is that we can be assured of Christ's salvation for us. So thank you. Let's bring you.